All right. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome. I am so excited to have this powerful conversation about something that affects every one of us, financial literacy. Today, we're talking with three of the amazing professionals who are passionate about educating families, business owners, and individuals on how to protect their futures and build wealth. We have Dr. Rhonda Hamilton on, who is running for mayor of Washington, D.C. She's a mental
Yay.
health advocate and also the president of Waterfront Insurance Network. We also have on Brian K. Royal, who's a licensed insurance broker with Blue Mountain Financial Group. We can't forget about Sean. We have Sean Hoy on, founder and retirement strategist for Hoyer 55. Together, they bring decades of experience helping clients understand insurance, protecting their loved ones, and building financial legacies. So let's dive right in. All right, we have an opening question. What inspired you? We'll start with Rhonda. What inspired you to get into the financial and insurance industry? And how does your work help improve financial literacy in our communities?
I love that question. Thank you so much, Brenda. It's so wonderful to be back on set with you and joined by my colleagues. What it got me inspired in insurance is that for years I was in insurance. I'm sorry, I was in real estate. I was a
Okay.
real estate broker, and oftentimes when you learn about educate how to educate families about winning, you want to be able to build relationships with them. And
Mm-hmm.
so one of the things I got excited about insurance was the fact that I learned that insurance was generally the first step or introduction into building wealth. And
Absolutely.
and one of the things I know coming from where I've humbly come from is that building wealth is something that a lot of folks don't know anything about. We tend to get caught up, many of us, most of us, on working on a job, and so many times job stands for just over broke. And in this
Mm-hmm.
current political climate and administration, we're seeing legislative understandings and other things that are affecting people's just basic ability to put food on the table and to make sure that they can make it from day to day. My work in the community has allowed me to be able to educate individuals about that very thing, and also to be able to introduce them to the understanding of life insurance as a tool for living and not necessarily for preparing to die. And I've often spoke about that, and many times people's first introduction to insurance, life insurance, has been to prepare to bury a loved one or to deal with their own, to face their own mortality. And so we want to change that. As the next mayor of Washington, D.C., it is
Yes.
going to be imperative that we help more families to win. And generally, when you're not worrying about where your next meal is going to come from or how you're going to make ends meet, that's a win for a lot of families. And that's one of the reasons that I came to the forefront, because I want everyday citizens to understand that we can make different decisions when we're properly educated, that does not leave us beholden to a political climate. And in the nation's seat of governance right now, politics rule, and it's got so many folks fearing that tomorrow will be something drastically different. And as a mental health advocate, it is important for me to help families find their way out of the cycles that have so many of them spiraling and hiding and suffering in silence. And so we want to save more lives. And I absolutely believe that introducing more families to the different the different layers of life insurance and finding a plan and a process for them that they can believe in, that we can see more of them win. And that's what we want. We want to help families build generational wealth so that not just those that are living presently, but the children that are coming behind them will understand. And we can begin to know what legacy truly means. And that's not a word that we throw around a lot in communities where I came from. So thank you for that question, Brenda.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So, Brian, let me ask you, why do you think so many people, especially in underserved communities, struggle with financial literacy? What can we do about it?
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you, Rhonda. That was very well said. You kind of hit on
Yes.
the nail there. Very well said. But to get back to you, Brenda, and thank you, Brenda, for having me on here. I think one of the reasons why we struggle in our community with financial literacy is, I think, comes down to one thing: education. Someone sitting down and explaining to you how important financial literacy is. I'm going to give you example, where I come from and what financial literacy has not really been in my community. Just to give you a little rundown where I'm from. I'm from Brooklyn, from an area called Bedford-Stuyvesant. And
Okay.
throughout my family history, there was no one there to really sit down with me and explain to me such as something simple as a credit card. When I came to college, I didn't even have a credit card. I went to George Washington University, and all the kids around campus had a credit card. But no one sat down in my family and explained to the importance of a credit card. So talking about financial literacy is something that starts from the beginning. It starts from when you was a child to understand how important certain things in life like financial literacy is. So it takes people like Rhonda and Sean and myself to get around the community, sit down with people, and explain to them where we can go with investments, insurance, and other opportunities that will come with insurance there. And that there can take you to another level.
Absolutely. Well said. Well said. All right. And Sean, many people don't even understand the difference between term, whole life, and universal life insurance. Can you break that down for our viewers and explain how each type serves different needs?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, Rhonda, Brian, thank you guys for having me on here. Um, Means a lot. And if I can tag a little bit into what Brian was saying, I agree with that too. I
Okay.
do. It has to start off when we were kids. Somebody at some point set up a status quo that we should not be talking about finances.
Mhm.
Really, right? That money, cash, fund, coin, these are 5 and 4 letter words.
Mhm.
And it's bad. It's put us in a self-destructive cycle because we're not talking about it. We're not educating ourselves from each other's failures. We're leaning on, again, the status quo of what we're being told by the masses.
Mhm.
It nothing, what in the history of anything has
Mhm.
ever anything good come of being secretive and hush hush and
Right.
ignoring the elephant in the room?
Get it on the head. Get it on
Nothing.
the head.
Nothing. And that's thank you for asking my question. What we get into?
Yes.
Insurance products. And again, yes, uh, everyone's going to shrivel up. Well, no, insurance. It's not just for if you
Mhm.
pass, okay? There are a
Mhm.
lot of living benefits here.
Mhm.
It's meant to be a life insurance, not a death insurance. That's why it's called life
Not
insurance.
insurance. Right.
I can't tell you how many business owners I speak with every day, truck drivers. I love them, the backbone of America. The
Mhm.
truck is insured and the driver is not. It makes no sense. It
Yeah.
makes no sense,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Some of the
Right.
nicest, hardworking, makes no sense.
None.
And it comes down to that financial literacy, right? This is something that shouldn't be talked about at the kitchen table. This is something that shouldn't be spoke. My wife does this one, not in front of the neighbors, not in front of the neighbors. That's my wife. Bless her heart. I know she's turning over, yelling at me somewhere because I said that. But life, whole life,
Yeah.
it is going to be self-explanatory, right?
Right.
I want to make sure that these products are explained a little bit, even if it is kind of a one-on-one, right? So that people aren't conned into buying or they get something they didn't think they got. A whole life, yes, it generally is supposed to mean for your whole life. What does that mean? Most carriers term out a whole life policy. Yeah, they term it out at about 120 years old. That life
Mhm.
policy will last until you are 120 years old.
Okay.
Anything that happens before then is considered your whole life. If for whatever reason you were somehow to live to 121, that policy would be paid in full and you would receive a lump sum benefit for every premium you paid into it at that point.
Okay.
Just FYI. A term policy is just that: it's finite, it's limited, and what you need to be careful of. A lot of folks don't know this. A square is a rhombus, but a rhombus is not a square. All right. Every term product is not the same.
Okay.
Some are collapsible. Some are very, very inexpensive because they're not meant to be renewed. They're not.
Mhm.
They're not. Once it's over, it's
That's
over.
it. Yeah.
Sorry, that's done. Done. I don't care how nice you speak with the people on the phone and plead your case. You know. But yeah, term products are finite. Finite. A nice little bit of a hybrid, if anything, I like to dive into would be the IULs, where
Okay.
again you can hybridize some of that whole life with the term product
Good
together to
job.
give somebody a
Mm-hmm.
little bit more of a bang for their buck.
Mm-hmm.
And the key difference between these two products, one is not a debt. Okay, that term
Okay.
product, for all intents and purposes, right? You're betting against the house that you're gonna pass away. It's not a good bet to make. It is, but it is what it is, right? I'm betting I'm gonna
It's
pass
funny.
away in the next 15, 10, 20 years. If I outlive that, guess what? I just basically threw out that money.
Mhm.
There is no dividends. Hopefully, you got what's known as a rope, a return of premium rider or something on there, so that you
Uh-huh.
can at least receive your benefits back. But again, then you're just receiving what money you put into it. That's
Mhm.
zero interest, zero return of premium interest
Okay.
credited to you. I can think of many investments that'll give me at least 1%, a CD,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
Now, if you hybridize the two of them, you can have the benefit of a whole life policy, which is going to build cash value. That's traditionally going to be used as a form of a retirement vehicle if you want to, because all benefits, all dividends, all cash value building in a life insurance policy cannot be taxed by the government. Cannot.
Okay.
None of it can be taxed by the government. Any income received off of a life insurance policy cannot be taxed as income. Any benefits
Mm.
that are paid because of a life insurance policy cannot be taxed as income.
Okay.
Mhm.
You explained that extremely well. I'm starting to get it. Thank you so much. All right. Let's go with Rhonda. Why is it so important to start retirement planning early, even if someone feels that they don't make enough money to save?
Oh my goodness, I love that question. And the most important thing for me is the reality that most people need to realize that insurance is about a risk. And generally, what you want to do is get it as young as possible before the health ailments set in and before you have to be exposed to higher rates. Most people don't start thinking about insurance, unfortunately, until they're later in life or later in years. And sometimes the premiums are not conducive with what your income capabilities are or what you can afford. And so it might become a deterrent. The reason you start building early or acquiring insurance early so that you can be in control of the decisions that you're going to make for the life that you want to live after you start working. But the reality is that the earlier that you get insurance, the better the premiums are and the opportunities exist for your policy. If you're talking about a whole life policy, for it to be able to build that cash value that you heard Sean mention about, and you have opportunities to be able to do something as exciting as creating long-term care understandings. You can plan for your retirement much better when you're able to better afford the premiums and the opportunities that life insurance offers you. But many folks wait, and when you wait, you put yourself in a box for what you can afford, and generally sometimes that ends up becoming a deterrent. Look, I got a message not too long ago from a senior in the district who said that given the present day realities, she had to sell or cancel, I should say, her life insurance policy so that she could be comfortable with making sure she was going to be able to eat. Now that sounds, pretty drastic to some, because many people, because they've worked a job for years, they automatically, have benefits, and what happens is they don't understand those benefits. And so the benefits just kind of sit and they go through this cycle of just being accumulated. But the reality of many policies and the fact that they are generally attached to the stock market, and if you don't have that education, you may be losing your benefits, the value of such, because you weren't educated enough to make decisions that would save that money or build that money on another level. And so it is important that even as early as giving birth, that we are ensuring our children right out the gate, so that we can offer them something that many of us didn't have. You plan earlier so that you can spend less and have access to more. That is the best way that I can put it.
That's smart. Yep. Yes, indeed. All
Absolutely.
right. Okay. And Brian, for someone watching who has no insurance at all, what would be the first type of coverage you would recommend they look into and why?
Well, it all depends on the situation there. Like Sean has said, you have the question that you asked Sean, you have term insurance, you have whole
Mm,
life insurance, you have IULs and university. And you had something called also VULs, which is a variable life policy there. So it all depends on the situation. If I think nobody has no insurance, they need to call myself or Rhonda or Sean to sit down, have a consultation with them, and
mhm,
decide which way and what direction you need to go. Now, it depends on somebody who's early age. Maybe we should start with something simple as a term policy. It's very cheap. It makes a difference. It covers your needs. And a good advisor will sit down every year and sit down with them to see what direction, see how things are going. If our
mhm,
financial situation is getting better, we can do some conversions without any going through any underwriting at all.
mhm. Got it. All righty. And Sean, know your company offers group insurance, health sharing, and index universal life. Can you explain how those products support both individuals and businesses? I think you're muted. Get you. There you go.
I said, yeah,
Mhm, you
my fault.
good.
Rhonda and Brian are killing it. I'm gonna tell them, right? But those group policies are gonna gear a little bit more toward the masses as opposed to the individual, regardless. That is gonna be what it is. Um, but the difference is being usually in a group, you're getting a better rate class, and that does not mean we have to have an employer group of 50. Okay, a mom and pop who's working their own job that they started, that's a group.
Mm.
That's a group. A
Wow, yeah.
husband and wife with the job, or maybe they decided to start their own business this year, right?
Mhm,
That's a
mhm.
group. And that group needs a qualified retirement plan.
Yeah.
And that group needs cheaper health insurance.
Right.
And because they're a group, we can get it to them. Reach out to Brian, reach out to Rhonda. Those financial needs analyses, you go to see a financial advisor, they're going to charge you $1,000 to $2,500 to do that for you. Because
Mhm.
you're listening to this, compliments of Rhonda, both myself, Brian, Rhonda, we'll do that for free,
Okay.
absolutely free,
Nice.
right?
Yes.
In regards to community health sharing as a healthcare platform, phenomenal. Okay, its biggest problem was back in the 80s and 90s when connectivity was what it was. It was our neighborhood, right? It was our social network. It was our groups. Now there is nothing stopping us from reaching out to like-minded citizens and deciding that enough is enough with the increase in healthcare. We're
Mhm.
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
It is done. The goal here should not be furthering the relationship with your provider and the doctor. It should be furthering the relationship between your doctor and you,
Hmm.
your doctor
Mm.
and you.
Yeah. You're
That's
right.
another big thing with financial literacy. It's not just your wallet that's not healthy, right?
Right.
It starts at the beginning. I make healthier, wealthier clients from the ground up. From the ground up.
Good.
Yes.
Good. 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 All
Yes.
right. Dr. Hamilton, tell us about some of the signatures services that WIN provides, such as mortgage protection, annuities, and college plans. Why are these important in today's economy?
All of the above, I will tell you, and
Yeah.
some. First and foremost, I want to start in a different space. I want to make sure that we make it crystal clear, because I'm sure there are some of your listeners and viewers that are still trying to understand whether or not it's something that they need to delve into further.
All right.
The whole basis of life insurance is to replace the income of the individual that we're losing. And many times that would be the breadwinner or the earner of the family. So if you are a family and your income and your daily living is structured around a particular income of one of the family members that are helping to maintain the household, then losing that individual would obviously cause that individual's income to come out of the family's fold. And you don't want your lifestyle to change or your living to be negatively impacted because you're losing that income. Many families downsize when they lose a loved one and they're not understanding of insurance. And many families are very emotionally distraught. And what we don't realize when we talk about being well as an individual, as a family, or as people, financial wellness is very much a part of maintaining your everyday overall wellness factor. And so when what we have been able to do is to affiliate with wonderful companies and lenders and carriers and individuals that allow us to offer what I would call a buffet of products. And so our Infinite company, OIC, is a company that I'm very honored to be a part of, along with Mr. Royal and Mr. Hoyer. Although we have our own independent vehicles for insurance products, affiliating with a larger brand allows us to have access to more and to be able to help more families. What do I mean by that? Our Infinite company allows us to exclusively help our teachers, our educators, our administrators in the way of understanding what their current benefits offer and how they could help to stretch them out further. In this particular political climate, we saw many federal workers and families impacted by the rotation of the politics, for lack of a better explanation. And had those families been able to know that the life insurance or the retirement plans that they had were solid, they would probably be able to weather the storm of a job rotation or a political climate that would cause their family to have to make different decisions. So when I'm constantly looking for avenues to help the average citizen as well as the affluent citizen, I'm often saying to Sean and Brian, in DC, the minimum wage right now, and it just adjusted to $17.95 an hour. And while that may be more than in other jurisdictions, here in DC, where the average home price can run as high as $800,000, which is absolutely ridiculous, where the average rent for a one-bedroom apartment could be easily over $3,000. So if you're making $17.95 an hour, even though you're going out to earn an honest living, you may not be able to make ends meet without having to rely on the government's resources such as food stamps, SNAP. And that's ridiculous that you go out to work every day and still would have to find yourself looking for supplemental resources in order to live. And so along with life insurance, along with understanding retirement access to different plans, along with insuring your home. Many people who have insurance for their house, just basic homeowners insurance, don't know anything about mortgage insurance. Well, what is mortgage insurance? Well, what that means is that, again, if you're going to lose one of your income producing principles in the household, you don't want to have to be plagued with paying a mortgage that you got on two incomes, and now you only have one income, and now that may create some sort of a hardship. And so mortgage insurance, in essence, pays the mortgage loan off should you lose your loved one, right? And then we talk about finding auto insurance, which those rates are constantly changing. And in jurisdictions like DC, it can become pretty challenging if you had a ticket, you had an accident that was or wasn't your fault. These are things that are impacting your rate of insurance. And so at Win, we're a brokerage because we want to make sure that we're able to look at the buffet and find what your family needs. And that's why it's so important to do a financial needs assessment. And that's why we offer it free, because we don't want it to be a challenge for you to get this information so that you can change the trajectory of your family. Again, the name of my agency is Win Insurance because I'm about winning, right? And then as a mental health advocate, for me, the acronym WIN stands for wellness is necessary. And in a lot of families, the culprit of why they're not able to be well or feel well is because they're financially challenged or financially strapped. And we want to remove that. And so it, when, whether it's your car that you're going to insure, your home, your family, whether or not you're seeking opportunities to extend or expand your income base, there's something called infinite banking where you can actually deposit a certain amount each month into a life insurance vehicle or your whole paycheck, and then pay your bills through your life insurance policy so that you have the ability to accumulate wealth through the interest that it's going to pay you. So there are various, and I certainly couldn't explain it all in this one setting, but I wanted to pique the curiosity of those everyday working families that are existing on a $17.95 an hour job. You too can find a tool in life insurance to win. So across the board, whatever you need, we're going to either have it or we're going to have a relationship in place that will allow it. And then the final piece I'll say is if you're getting insurance, and this is nothing against any of the agencies, this is strictly about education. If I'm only able to offer you State Farm products and you may fall outside of that spectrum, then you may not get what you need or what you can afford because you're trying to fit into someone else's model of what insurance should look like for you. When you have access to companies like Brian's and Sean and myself, you have the ability to have customized understanding of how you're going to better insure your family and immediately to start to begin wealth. And that's why it's important to have a financial needs analysis, but most especially work with a professional that can give you options, choices, because no two families' financial needs are alike.
You're right about that. All
Yeah,
right.
absolutely. I just want to add to that what
Sure.
Rhonda just said. Um, yeah, it's and that's why you need to sit down and have some counseling there because it's important to have your policy tailor made for you, not just one model like Rhonda said. It's customized and tailor made for you. That
Mm-hmm.
is just perfectly for you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You good? You good?
I got
So,
excited when Rhonda talked like that. So
so you got to piggyback on that. No problem. So, and Rhonda and I are in my group I have called the Black Business Owners Network, this BBON. We got to get everyone's welcome, but it's just something for us to learn,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
learn different things. So, I'm going to ask Brian for the business owner in our BBON network. What are some smart insurance and financial planning steps that they should take to protect both their businesses and their families?
well, great. Absolutely. A life insurance. Life
Mm-hmm.
insurance is the key. You can protect your business through a life insurance policy, and also, through annuity as well. All that can be done left to by a beneficiary there. So those are two things I would say to protect your business and personal is life insurance.
And Brenda, I want to add to that because you're absolutely right, Brian. But I think a lot of business owners, especially us entrepreneurs, we have a great idea. Next, thing you know, we're in business, but many of them don't have the business insured because they're thinking that it's outside of their capabilities. But one of the most important steps that's overlooked when you are insured and in business with a partner or partners, there's something called key man insurance that
Yes.
allows you to insure those partners and make the business the beneficiary, if you will. And so a lot of small businesses are not tapping into that reality because, again, the same logic applies as it does for a family. If you're going to lose one of the major earners or investors in the business that helps to keep it running day to day, life insurance is designed to be able to help you to to replace the
Mm-hmm.
income that's lost should you have an unfortunate life event. And you don't necessarily always have to die to get, for the other partners to get the money. If you have a serious health ailment, something life challenging, then a lot of times you're able to cash out on the policies based on your health. And so again, it's really about education. But I wanted to point out the key man insurance, because many people start out running a business, but they don't really understand how to protect the interest of the business should a business partner pass. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. That was great. That was great. Okay. I guess how do you see financial literacy? This is anyone can jump in. How do you see financial literacy as a form of empowerment in the Black Business Owners Network? And what's your vision for where we can go once we're educated and financially equipped?
Who's going to take that, Sean?
Sean, let's go, Sean. Sean, Sean. It doesn't matter. I'm just kidding. Oh, wait a minute, you're muted. Hold on, let me get you. Let me get you. Uh, actually, you see the
You're
you have to
muted,
unmute
Sean.
yourself. Yeah, you're talking. We want to hear you. There
That
you
was
go.
good. That was good. That was good. Too bad
Say it
I
again.
forgot what I said.
Say
No.
it again.
I said, well, first off, again, we're talking about a $2,500 free complimentary needs analysis, financial
Mhm,
needs analysis for any business owner, for any business owner, right?
mhm,
And what we're going to be looking for is how to save them money on healthcare. What we're going to be looking for is free money from Uncle Sam in the form of not not tax benefits, no tax credits, by
mhm,
just taking advantage of the Secure Act 2.0 federal mandate, right?
mhm,
Setting up a retirement plan for yourself, for your spouse, as business owners, and for your employees, W-2 employees. There's free money there. There's free
mhm.
money there.
Yeah,
And and
absolutely.
and furthermore, we're going to show that business owner how to lower, right, their FICA tax, lower
Yeah.
their payroll tax
Mhm.
by showing them that investing in a tax post-tax vehicle for themselves, for their wife, for their employees is not just going to create a more of an employee retainable environment, right? Because I'm
Mhm.
going to want to work somewhere that has my health care, that has my retirement, as opposed to some other job that I'm just making minimum wage at, and it's just another job, right?
Mhm.
Just above
Right.
broke.
Okay.
And last but not least, I mean, worst case scenario. Worst case scenario. Myself, Hoyer 55, the Supreme Team, we're here to help. We can also help create and drive folks into a new career, budding, developing insurance brokers. All right.
Mm,
This is an industry that needs folks that want to learn and develop themselves as insurance professionals that want to do good, coming from a place of trust, integrity, right? All
Mhm.
they need though is a mission, a purpose, right? Everyone has our mission here at OIC. Their private reason why they're doing financial needs analysis and why they're helping building healthier, wealthier clients, right? Taking that to the streets, taking that to the business, taking that to your family every day. That's your mission. And your purpose, Jesus, Mary and Joseph, unfortunately, it is what it is. Talent, right? Distributed equally, opportunity is not. So my purpose, Rhonda's purpose, OIC's purpose, Supreme Team's purpose. Every day, I don't put my head on that pillow unless I feel I've talked to enough. I've spoken to enough people. I've gotten enough of this message across to where I think I made a difference today.
Yeah.
And I hope that whatever group takes advantage of that. I really do. God, I hope
mhm,
they do.
mhm.
We're here. I'm here.
Yes, I feel your passion. That's great. That's great. All right. So before we wrap up, I talk about financial literacy. Let's go around the room and anything that I didn't touch on or that we haven't touched on that you'd like to share with our viewers about financial literacy and why you do what you do. Let's start with Dr. Rhonda.
Yeah, there is. In DC right now, and I want to make this point because for my entire service, it's been about helping to improve the lives of the families that I'm able to touch, and I'm always concerned that I'm not able to reach them all. Uh, in DC, we have at least 100,000 families that are living at or below the poverty line. And when that's the case, and the federal poverty line, for many that don't realize it, is that whether you're a family of one or a family of four, that could be as little as 15,000 a year or up to $30,000 a year. Now, if you're trying to raise a family of four on $30,000 a year, you are struggling. You are most times leaning, and many times you are failing. And it's hard to have to admit that. And that's why we're having this conversation on my watch, because I want to be intentional about folks understanding it's nothing to feel shame about. And as these politics continue to be so polarizing, people sink further and further into dismay because you feel like you're not adequate and that you just don't get it. We want everyday individuals to understand the importance of just sitting down with a professional such as myself or Sean or Brian. It can truly change your life. Now, would it require that you be disciplined? Absolutely. You might not be able to get those nails done 3 times a month, but you can make certain that because we don't know what tomorrow brings, you can make certain that you're prepared to continue to live because you did something about that today. The other point I want to make in DC, with all of the federal job rotations and workers having to find other realities for their families, we're also watching our business industries take a hit because, let's face it, it's about numbers when we are talking about running a business. You want to have customers. You want to know where your next customer is going to come from. And sometimes as a business in a certain geography where politics is involved, definitely, you are not in control of that. So you want to be able to plan for whatever tomorrow brings. And one of the things where I'm so focused on my small businesses, especially in DC, don't want to leave them out because right now they are employing almost half of our workers in DC. So, and when you look at financial literacy and the importance of helping families to win, I'm also looking at keeping our economy solid. See, when you cut that 5 o'clock news on and you start to hear that, oh goodness, DC's lost its money, or oh goodness, they got to cut the programs, housing is not going to be available. Those are messages of deterrent, and that allows folks to feel like they're going to be overwhelmed, not be able to have help. And I don't want people out there to understand they're living based on what's on the 5 o'clock news. I want people to start learning. I want small businesses to start learning how they can continue to make decisions to weather the storm. And oftentimes it's not easy to talk about people from a position of struggling. And so for me, that is why I'm pushing this financial literacy, because there are children that are trapped in families that are not properly educated. And because that's the case, there's this cycle that continues. And there are some children, some families who are able to understand sooner than others because their families already have been educated and they have been exposed to that. And so many, many families and many small businesses are just shooting by the hip, Brenda, just taking it as it comes. And when the money is not there, they don't have an alternative. And that's because they didn't have someone to provide access or to expose them to another understanding of how they could live. And that's what life insurance is about. And that's why it's important that we get them educated. So thank you.
Yes, absolutely. All right, what about you, Brian? Is there anything that we haven't touched on that you'd like to discuss about financial literacy?
Well, I think Rhonda kind of wrapped it up, and I think she deserves an Oscar Enneagram
Yeah,
today.
that
To
was
be quite
perfect,
honest
wasn't
with
it?
you, I
That
mean,
was
she
great.
told she said everything that you can possibly say. But I think, Brenda, at the end of the day, to answer your question, it comes down to education. It comes down to the point that you need to sit down with an insurance advisor, wealth management guy, and let him educate you and go through all the roots and nuts there to get your life in order today. And I think it starts today. Financial literacy is the key to our success in life.
Absolutely.
Yeah, sounds good. Alrighty.
And I take it a step further.
Go ahead, Sean.
Once you receive that information, pass it on. Okay,
Yeah.
because we are trying. I am trying. Rhonda's trying. Brian's trying.
Yeah.
There's only so many small businesses, so many families I can sit down with every night, every day, every week. That's where this real financial literacy thing is going to take heat, take fire, run with it. With today's connectivity, with the LinkedIn and the Facebooks and there is no reason why we're posting pictures about pancakes and not talking about how we're going to get to our retirement goals.
Right.
Right?
You're right.
I don't mean to hurt people's feelings,
Mm-hmm.
but it's true. It's
Yeah.
true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's where the real education, the need to show a little discipline, right? I'm not saying I have to go get a degree in this stuff, but if you want to change your career, reach out to Brian, reach out to Rhonda, reach out to myself. We'll be more than happy to set you up in a path where 2 weeks from now you'll be able to write your own retirement and get paid commission on it for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
But that aside, right? Literally just breaking this down, making this communicable to yourself, to your kids, to your families, making this again something that we talk about at the kitchen table, right? Something that we talk about next time we have a family meeting or we're at the fair or whatever. My birthday, we got relatives over.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about it.
Talk about
That's how we're gonna fix this problem.
it. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Brenda, I just want to, I've always got something I got to say, but it's important because your platform provides such a large reach to many out there that don't like politics. And I keep bringing up that, and I say, you may not do politics out there, but politics is certainly doing you. So
Yes.
being able to get a financial needs analysis and figure out how you can take control of your family's future is one way to stop those politics from doing you, because your life should not be dependent on who's in office. You should not be holding to a particular candidate or party when your family is struggling and doesn't have what it needs. And so as a politician, it is important for me to help folks see another side of politics, because it is realistic. I'm a politician that cares. I'm a politician that came forward because as a mental health advocate, I realized the hurt, the trauma, the lack of exposure, and let's face it, no one independently should be living at $15,000 a year, and much less having a child or a family. And if that is your reality, that we understand, but we're saying to you, seek us out. And why would I have a platform this large if it wasn't going to be to help save more lives, if it wasn't going to be to help people to understand that when they see this face and hear my mouth, that I am about them winning. See, politics doesn't have to always be bad, although it's a lot. It is a lot, but we have opportunity. And I choose to use this platform to draw more people in order that we can stabilize more families, so that regardless of who's in office, your family is able to win. And that's what this is about. And I'm running because there's a pride in this country that has been challenged and diminished because we're worrying about everyday financial understandings. And many of us, Sean mentioned social media, many of us use social media as an entertaining vehicle. And sometimes that entertainment is not always positive or healthy. And so I'm fighting for the next generation and the generations after them. And the way we secure their future is we do something different. So I am a politician that's using her platform to make sure every time you see or hear from me, it's about helping to embetter you and helping to embetter your family. And I've asked Sean and Brian to come along, and I'm so grateful for their trust in me, because they didn't necessarily want to be a part of politics, but after they had a conversation with me and realized that I had so many families, so many business owners, and so many individuals, especially seniors on fixed income, who were struggling. And if you remember, I said insurance is the introduction to wealth. Well, that doesn't mean anything to the everyday family or business owner if we can't help them to understand how or why. So I am a candidate that is in this seat because it is time for us to win. And as the daughter as the proud daughter of a man who fought for this country, God bless my father's soul, I understand what it means to be American, and especially when you're not on American soil. So there's a pride that we must maintain and that should not be attacked or changed or questioned based on who's in office. And so that is the type of politician I am. I'm the type to go and get my friends and my colleagues and say, come on, we have opportunity to help save some lives and restore pride and save the next generation. That is who I am. And that is what financial literacy is about. And I'm hoping everyone in your base will reach out. No question is a dumb question. We're waiting to hear from you. My
Yes.
website,
Yes.
platform wise or otherwise,
Mm-hmm.
is www.rhonda, RHONDA, Hamilton, the number 4DC.com. My contact phone number is 202 486 6037. I'm putting it out there because I want to hear from you all. I've got soldiers walking with me, and we're ready to save some lives. There is no shame in winning. Thank you.
And love it. I love it. All right. Let's go around and Brian, give your contact information, website, social media, whatever you want them to have, or how they can
Oh,
reach you.
sure. Sure. Absolutely. Thank you. My website is bluemountainfinancialgroup.com. Brian Royal, you can contact me at broyal at bmgfs.com. That's my email, and my telephone number is 240-498-8345.
And say your number one more time. You broke up. I want to make sure
I'm
they get it.
sorry. Sure.
Hmm.
240-498-8345.
There we go. All right. All right. Last but not least, Sean, unmute yourself and let them know how they
I
can
keep
find you.
I
Yeah,
keep forgetting to push the unmute
I
button
got
there.
you.
I know, right? That's redonkulous. Well,
Go for it.
first off, Brenda, absolute pleasure. I want to thank you for having me on the show. It means a lot. Rhonda, as always, God, she's so pretty. Brian,
No.
I'm gonna see you in the field, right, man? Soldier on. We're all about it.
That's right.
Hoyer55.com. So HOYER55.com. Sean.hoyer55.com or www.hoyer55.com.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty
That's it.
can't miss me. Quite simply, there is no hurry up, buy now. My website, everything is literacy. It's all educational. It's free. I want you to go there. I want you to download something. Worst case scenario, spend 5 minutes, learn something today. Learn
Yes.
something today.
Mhm.
Learn something today.
Yes. I want to thank everyone for coming. Thank you, Dr. Rhonda Hamilton. She's been at many of our events. She was at my son's
Yes.
remembrance and birthday party. She's all about the community and about teaching us and helping us to build wealth. And she's what we need in Washington D.C. You guys vote for her, BBON. Vote for her.
Thank you, Brenda. And I
Yes.
know we can't mention it yet, but you and I have something up our sleeves for your
Yes.
network
Yes.
of loyal business owners. So stay tuned to this mogul, this queen. She's got something up her sleeves, and I'm honored to help her roll it out. So
Mhm.
stay tuned.
Yes. Yes, and it's great. I met you before, Brian. It was great seeing you again, and it's great
Absolutely.
meeting you, Sean. Great meeting you, Sean. All right, so thank you all for joining us today. And to everyone watching, financial literacy isn't just about money; it's about empowerment.
Mhm.
Whether you're protecting your home, planning your retirement, or just getting started, these experts are here to help you to win.
Yeah.
So, yes, they are. Don't forget to follow them, reach out to them, and take action today because your future and your family deserves it. And so does your business. All right, guys, take care. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Want to let everybody know that we still have the interviews going on. If you want to be interviewed, have your interview be seen in front of the 70,000 plus members of the BBON. 70,000 plus in our Facebook group. And if you haven't joined yet, make sure you join the BBON, Black Business Owners Network. It's a Facebook group with over 70,000 members worldwide. Come join us. Come join us. Out and about, and I just wanted to stop and say hello to everyone. Say happy Friday. Wish everyone a happy, glorious, fantastic weekend. And also let you know we're having a 50% off sale on all promotions, all interviews. If you're trying to get the word out about what you do, your book, your entertainment career, your business, whatever you got going on, text the word interview to 202-308-3157. Text the word interview to 202-308-3157 and have your girl, me, Brenda Eason, interview you and get your name out to the world. It's worldwide promotion. Like I said, over 70,000 members of the BBON. And then our television network, the Black Empower Media Network, BEMNTV.com, is seen on Roku TV, Apple TV, Amazon Prime, and also on Tubi. We got a contract with Tubi as well. So this is the time to get the word out about what you do and get 50% off. Again, text the word interview to 202-308-3157, and I will interview you. You have an interview to place wherever you want. Repurpose it on your website, social media, wherever. All right, that's all I have for now. Reach out to me. Love to say hello and meet all the members of the Black Business Owners Network. Talk to you later. All right, peace.